Hey everybody, Matt Barton here, your principal broker with this week's Broker Minute or Two. Hey, I have had several instances, questions, had one today. I even told the agent, don't worry because I'm talking about this today. It's not about your specific issue. It was already on my slate to talk about. But this deals with releasing earnest money. We get different requests, right? And a very common one is when we receive earnest money. I'm going to give you two scenarios, hypothetical. If a young buyer puts forth an offer, can their parents put in the earnest money? Can they gift them the earnest money and we receive a check from the earnest money? Will that count to the contract? The answer is yes. If that same transaction then gets canceled and earnest money is to come back to the buyers, who do we write the check to? Do we write it to the father who fronted the money, or do we write the check to the buyers? The short answer is we do what the contract says, right? So the contract doesn't care about who put the earnest money in. What that does care now, the underwriter may care about that, but the contract doesn't care who put the earnest money in. The language in the contract is very specific. If it's canceled and a party is entitled to that earnest money, it is to be cut from our accounting department to whoever is specified in the contract, whether it's a single buyer, it could be a number of trustees, it could be husband and wife. And so we have situations where we get requests from agents saying, hey, just as a matter of convenience, can you just write the check to the husband or write the check just to the wife, even though both are showing as buyers on the contract? And I hate having to answer this because it makes it sound like we're not trying to be helpful. And we actually are trying to be helpful. We're trying to avoid a problem not only um, for the buyer and sell, sorry, the two buyers, um, but it's also an administrative rule from the Division of Real Estate. So let me just pull this up on screen. You know, can never do one of these videos without showing you on screen. So this is a copy of the administrative rules, and this is under the section of the trust account. And it says this: a principal broker may disperse funds from a real estate trust account only in accordance with the specific language in the real estate purchase contract. So when it says earnest money to be returned to the buyers in certain circumstances, buyer or buyers, whatever is specified in the opening section of the REPSI, and that's what we're bound to do, even if it's convenient to release it to just one of the parties, or it's perceived that it's convenient, right? The second one is, or other proper written authorization. So if we get something in writing from both of the buyers, signed by both of the buyers saying, please release it to the husband, Johnny, or the wife, Susan, or whoever, great, we can do it in that circumstance. Or if there's a court order, right? And so I just want to share that with everybody so that you know we're not trying to be obstinate. We've had situations, I've had situations in the past as a principal broker where somebody has released earnest money to just one of the parties, and then the other party comes back and says, you treated me wrong. We're now going through a divorce, and my husband, my soon-to-be ex-husband, took off with the money, and you were helpful in that process. So for those reasons, that is our policy: is we will cut the check to whoever is on the REPSI. And hopefully that adds to your understanding, might even help you field some questions from your clients when they say, well, gosh, I don't want to have my wife endorse it or my husband endorse it. Now you have the reason why. It's like we're bound to do what the contract says. So hopefully that's helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Hope you have a great week.